So first of all, many of you have already been listening to my voice on the phone for quite a long time as we've been in the preparation for this. And the preparation has taken about a year and a half to get to where we are today. This is no small, quick meeting with Russell Lutt. This is part of a very, very long piece of work. Actually, in Dalian last year in China, we had 60 experts, global experts and entrepreneurs and regional leaders coming together on this specific subject. In Davos, we have 45 CEOs, 4 ministers of ICT, 5 heads of international organisations, and a whole bunch of academic experts as well that came together. In Malaysia this June, we had 35 regional experts from business and government come together. And then we are here today. Actually, that's not just the input, human input. There's a vast amount of effort that's gone together to produce or find 700 individual data points from the UN, the OECD, the ITU, the World Bank, all of the normal areas, individual CEO interviews that the World Economic Forum conducts, and then again, on top of that, all of the individual feedback and input from you. And where that's not been enough, and it hasn't been enough, we've then had to go out and quite entrepreneurially find people with data in their pockets, academics. And Juan Alcacer, for example, has been, Juan, are you here? Juan has been fantastic in providing us with a treasure trove of fantastic data which has helped us really better understand where we're going. We've just started a partnership with Thomson Reuters, who again have a vast amount of data which will continue to grow the data side of things. And the point there really is that all of you are in your own way trying to get hold of that data to make your decisions or your research more effective. And it's difficult to get hold of it, so the forum is therefore quite a useful tool to try and aggregate, and not only aggregate, but synthesize that data in partnership with you. So that's been going on, and it's taken us to the point of analysing, I think something like 9 million patterns, is that right, Andre? Something like that. There's ridiculous numbers of data that's been analysed. Countless cross-checking with global experts. And I personally have carried out in the last year and a half 115 formal interviews lasting over 30 minutes on this. And actually in the last 3 months, 66 of those. So thank you very much for bearing with the World Economic Forum on the phone, and thanks for the input. The important thing to mention here is this is not the World Economic Forum's work. It's not McKinsey's work. It's your work. And we're just helping you bring that together. True collaborative innovation, in fact. So the point of this specific meeting, then, is really to focus on the questions that you've defined as the most important. And this is a point that Jeff brought up really early on when we were bringing this together, is let's not focus on the stuff that they already know. Let's not focus on the questions that have been answered satisfactorily. Let's go to those questions that do not have a satisfactory answer. And let's get the world's best thinkers on this together and answer them. And hopefully at the end of this meeting, we'll have a new, or let's say, amended set of those questions. We're going to do this through minimal presentation, maximum dialogue. You sat down in this group like this will happen on rare occasions. The majority of it will be you broken down into small groups of 7, 8, 9, maybe once 10. But otherwise you'll be in small groups, maximising your ability to share your insights. There is no right answer to these questions, otherwise we wouldn't be asking them. And therefore, your perspectives, regionally, globally, from different industries, from academic perspectives, are all going to help you better move forward. It's quite important to understand that this is not just a chit-chat that ends when you walk out of the room with a bunch of business cards with new good ideas, but this for us is a commitment for a longer-term thing. And Alan pointed out that there's some meetings coming up in the future in Dubai, in Davos, where we've already formally marked down to take this forward, your input forward. But throughout this meeting, David Kirkpatrick is going to be carrying out some interviews, and we've got a whole army of people who will be sat taking notes. Because what we want to do is capture, not word for word, but as close as we can get, the key nuggets that come out of your conversations, so we can synthesise and feed that back to you. In 1 week's time, we commit to having a full report, which will have videos, which will have synthesised feedback from the meeting, links. This is really embarrassing, isn't it? And then hopefully linking us back into further work. In order for us to get here, obviously I want to thank you for your input and making us really get to those questions. But I also want to thank Mike Keller and his team captained by Mimi Calter, for really making sure that we can have this great group.
Wait, so Mimi.
Mimi, so Mimi in the back, thank you very much. There is actually a whole team of 26 people who are going to be running around behind the scenes, making sure the coffee's hot, making sure that everything you're saying is being captured, and making sure that it's a fun time and you enjoy it. I in particular want to point out the McKinsey team, headed by Andre, but I would individually like to point out Louise, Catherine, Christophe, Stefan and Aditi, who've been a fantastic group of partners that we've been working with daily on really bringing all of this information together. There's the Value Web team of Todd, Jeff, Robert, Ryan, Julie and Bree, who are going to be helping capture the moments today. Not only written word, but graphic artists, photography and video footage. The conversation for this started, and I just want to single out some individual people, it started with going out to you and saying, we've got this idea, but what do you think? And Manuel was the first conversation that we had, so thank you very much, Manuel. The last, number 66 of the last 3 months is Anna Lee Saxinian. So overall it's been an incredible amount of input to get us to where we are today. The forum, though, doesn't like to run these things ourselves. What we do is we get to about now, and then we go out stage left and rely on some really quite truly amazing people to coax you through the next day and a half. And in particular, Paul Sappho and also Geoffrey Moore. And it's at this point